Action.
No, wait.
Did you fart again? What's wrong? What's wrong?
You sounded like Maggie from The
No, you like Farty McFarter over there. He's wanting.
The wind's going that way.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Great for the bloopers.
It's still rolling.
Oh, it's still rolling.
Okay, ready?
Down, yeah. I've been feeling so down, yeah. Can you tell me why? I'm down, yeah. No friends of mine around,
Yeah.
yeah.
Behind the scenes.
Now I'm thinking.
So, welcome to the behind the scenes and bloopers reel for At World's End Part 2. No one thought this one was going to happen, did they? But, here we are. I'm in the middle of nowhere, as usual. I have only one eye, so I have to wear these sunglasses so I can actually see while I'm not filming. What else is going on? Well, I'm in, the campsite, the abandoned campsite. This is for episode 1. Apparently, there's a wombat that lives right here. This is gonna be fun. I'm by myself. There's no crew for this episode. Episode 3 and 4 are gonna be filmed in a few days, and they'll have a crew. Then episode 5, the finale, will be filmed later next week. And then we'll be all finished for everything. At World's End Part 2 will be done, and then post-production will begin. So that'll be fun. So stay tuned in this behind-the-scenes video. I don't know where it's going to lead. I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully, I'll be able to see by the end of this. Okay, so we're currently inside the Masked Men Outpost. This place is, how do I put it, very poorly made. Who made it, you ask? Well, I think we all know who made it. Sorry about the sunglasses, it's just, I'm half blind, half not. Anyway, point is, this shed, a little bit of history behind it. It is made completely out of scrap materials. I kind of made it as if I would have been the masked men, making just whatever they could find in the apocalypse. It makes sense. And, yeah, that's about it. Okay, so a little bit of behind the scenes. We're trying to film the scenes with, where is he? This guy in the background. We're trying to film those scenes, but it's kind of hard because we're filming from the other side of the valley with the crew, and no one knows what is going on because no one can talk to each other because there's no phone reception. I don't know, they're trying to talk to me. I don't actually know what's going on. Alrighty, so
Hey Beckonators! Hey Beckonators, it's party time!
oh my god, they're literally chasing us. We just wrapped Becca's death scene.
I had lots of fun on the shore, and I loved going. It was very fun. It was very bloody.
Hanson, how do you feel about killing Sarah?
I mean, I wasn't a fan of it, personally.
Oh my god, they're literally charging up.
It's chasing Bobby.
Bobby is saying, run, Bob!
Bobby, run!
Jeez.
Wait!
We gotta go. Okay, it's currently 5:52 on the 18th of March 2020. Well, the world's ending. It's not quite ended yet, but it's ending. Coronavirus update. We are meant to be doing dubbing and reshoots this weekend, and currently in Australia, nothing's really changing. I mean, a lot of other countries are locked down at the moment, but Australia is pretty fine. Nothing is closing down. This Saturday we're meant to be doing dubbing and reshoots for a couple scenes, and if everything closes down, I'm not sure if we still can do that. I don't know. Editing is going well. I just finished a rough cut of episode 3. Episode 1 is done. I just have to do some audio stuff on that, and some visual effects need to be finished. Episode 5 is pretty much done as well. I just have to edit one scene for that, and episodes 2 and 4 haven't really been done yet. I don't know why I just didn't do it in chronological order. I did 3 first, then 5, and then 1. So yeah, coronavirus is messing things up. I'm meant to be going to Canada in a month, for 6 months, and I don't think that's going to happen anymore, which is kind of annoying because, I've been planning it for pretty much a year now, but it is what it is. That's just my little check-in because I forgot to do editing check-ins and I was meant to be like doing, oh, you know, I just finished this and now you've already seen it, but I'm doing this now. I'm doing much better than with season 1 because season 1 was like, I edited only 1 episode before the first episode released, so I was editing as I was releasing, which was, well, it was okay. I guess I was able to fix mistakes that I didn't like from earlier episodes, which is fine. It's good. But in season 1, there were differences between episodes. You could tell the differences. There's like stylistically, this one's more coherent and it's pretty much the same all the way through. But yeah, I don't have much more to say, so bye! Okay, so a little update. It's now a few days later since I last recorded that last little message. Coronavirus has gotten pretty bad. Tomorrow we're meant to be doing some reshoots and some dubbing, but things are getting a little wild at the moment. I don't know what's happening to the world. I'm just editing footage here. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but yeah, I'm editing episode 4 at the moment because it needs to be ready to be dubbed over tomorrow. Everything's a little crazy. It's very ironic that this is a mini-series based on a virus. It's an apocalyptic series, and the world is starting to become an apocalypse of sorts. It's a little bit scary. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Dubbing's tomorrow. Hopefully that will go well. That should only take a couple hours, but then we need to reshoot a night scene from episode 3. And then we're pretty much done with everything. Everything should be almost edited by then. I've just got to put the dubbing over and some music. More or less, everything's coming together, which is good. Hopefully, it'll be all done by April 10th, the release date. I'll probably just cut this bit out if I don't actually end up releasing it on April 10th. We shall see. I've been kicked out of dubbing. I've been kicked out. Just an editor's note, the red on that script is actually blood from her death scene. So, yeah, just do that again. I think the more like, her name was Kate, right? No, her name was Kate.
Her name was
Kate.
Kate. I do recognize you, actually. Was it your little sister we killed last time? Justin? It was Kate. Her name was Kate, right?
Yeah, perfect. So, we're currently in the green room, and...
That don't impress me much.
So, the director is being a bit of a cringy little 10-year-old right now. Anyway, as I was saying, we're going reshooting tonight because someone set the camera on the wrong setting last time.
Okay, here's why I'm making fun of Brad Pitt. Sorry, Bradley Cooper. I mean, Cooper.
Bye.
The day that I die. Did you write the book of love? Did you have faith in God above? Did the Bible tells you so? And do you believe in rock and roll? Save my ears.
I don't know the rest of the words from here.
Time for reshoot time because we were stupid and
We were stupid.
I was stupid.
Yeah. But it's okay, we're gonna make it work. My hair is a completely different length. My makeup is different. I don't have the right earrings in, but that's okay because no one's gonna realise.
Yeah, no one's gonna realize.
We're gonna be fine.
And then we have a vlogger. yeah, watch out for Ben's vlog channel coming never, hopefully, because
I love it.
Hanson, how are you feeling?
I'm
You finished your job about 12 hours ago and you're still here.
Yeah.
Now you're a slave.
Now I'm just
An assistant.
I'm the keeper of the train.
And there's just like a hanging bear, but that's fine. Oh my god. I'm gonna fall off. I have to stop vlogging. So I guess I should probably check in because it's been a while since I have. Well, it's been a few days, but I feel like I should check in pretty frequently at the moment because the world has gone mad. So why not document more of the process of At World's End Part 2? I'm actually currently at the location of Justin's first campsite from Season 1. Don't ask me why I'm here, I have no idea. I'm just outside walking dog 1 and dog 2. But I finished more or less post-production on episode 1 today. The draft, the rough cut is done. It looks pretty good, I'm quite happy with it. It's pretty different to what I thought it would be. In my head, obviously things are very different to what they translate in the end result. I'm gonna cut out most of this, aren't I, editing this? What is going on? Okay, I don't know whose those are. What is going on? I'm gonna go. Welcome to the bathroom. So today I'm going to show you what the process is for Justin's eye scar and also contact lens. But first of all, while I'm talking about the contact lens, I would also like to mention that At World's End Part 2 was partnered with, or is partnered with, Coloured Contacts, and I'm very grateful that they were willing and wanting to do a partnership with this particular series. You'll see a few different characters throughout the series with contacts, one of which you probably don't even know they're contacts. Becca, or Rebecca Munro, one of the main characters, she has orange contacts in, and that's just to add a little bit more effect to her overall look, to really bring in those orange bits on her costume. But obviously the main ones are, I wear one in my eye for Justin, and Jess Wallace, who plays the contaminated woman in episode 1, she wears both contacts in both eyes. They're the same contacts as I wear in one eye, just she wears them in both because, you know, zombies, I don't know, their eyes look a little bit weird. So yeah, just once again, massive shout out to Coloured Contacts. I'll leave the link in the description below so you can go check them out. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it. I just want to show you how lenses get put in. So they sent me across this little lens case. I don't know if it'll focus on that. Yeah, there you go. The little lens case is there. And they also sent me across some all-in-one contact fluid or liquid. That's just to make sure the lenses are kept moist. I know that word, moist, whatever. I'm just gonna put this contact in. Okay, let me just put this in. So this is what the contact looks like. It's kind of hard to see, but it's a clear one. It's really there. I always thought contacts were like hard. Maybe some are, I don't know. But this one, they're really squishy and easy to get in. So what I do, because it's in my left eye, I use my right hand to put the contact on. Then I open up my eye like that. And I kind of just... So that lens is in now, as you can see. Looks pretty freaky. Now we need to move on to the scars. Well, the scar, which goes, I do one little bit up here, one little bit down here, one little bit down here. And that's pretty much it for Justin's sort of eye scar. And thank you so much once again to Coloured Contacts, because like this series, contacts aren't cheap, and like this series isn't made on a high budget, so it's really useful to, you know, partner with those people, and especially when they're good, really good products. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Yeah, go check out Coloured Contacts in the link in the description. And that's how I get into Justin's face, makeup, whatever. So while we're in the bathroom / makeup area / whatever you want to call it, where we do all like the scars, the eyes, contacts, I thought I'd show you the prosthetics that we used during the series. So from episode 1, this is the prosthetic we used for episode 1. So yeah, pretty bloody, pretty yummy. This was used on the actress Jess Wallace. And yeah, she played the contaminated woman. And this is the second prosthetic. So this one's a very different one to the first one. I've already wiped off all the goop and blood that we had on it. This one was used in episode 5, and the director, fun fact, actually played the zombie or the contaminated for this episode, the contaminated man. And he wore this prosthetic and he wasn't very happy about wearing it. But I forced him to, so you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. I got these from mostlydead.com or something. You can Google it if you want to use them. I don't know, but this was my first time actually using a full face prosthetic and they are hard to put on. So yeah, they were the prosthetics we used in Our World's End Part 2. I hope you enjoyed having a little look at them because they're cool and I personally am interested in like how all that behind the scenes sort of visual effects and like practical effects work and like how it's not just CGI for a zombie, it's just like, it can be really realistic. Obviously, mine was not ultra realistic, but you get the point. So I hope you guys were interested in having a look at the mask. Okay, welcome to post-production. I'm going to talk about some post-production stuff here, do some VFX breakdowns and give you a little bit of insight. Post-production actually started before production did. Post-production started back in December or late November last year, 2019. And at that point, what we did was the modeler for the project made some models for the plane and the city, the Stronghold Safe Zone model. So today we're going to go through those. Let's get up onto my computer. Firstly, let's go to some progress models of the city. This first picture here, it was a test model and we actually ended up using it in the city in the final product, but this was a test model just to see how the buildings could look. And as you can see, we looked at the plants growing out of the building just to show that time. So here's a picture of some other individual buildings that were made. Obviously the interiors didn't need detail or anything because this was in the distance, so that's why you can see on the building to the left of the screen there is literally just like a wireframe in the building. So here's the full city put together. There's kind of trees to hide the horizon line a little bit. And then in this picture, you can see that the plants have been added to the building. It looks a bit more withered down. And that was kind of the final model. So for that shot, we actually had concept art made for it before production started. So in pre-production, we had concept art for it. This was made by the concept artist. Check him out, very talented individual. And then it got translated onto the screen. It was a little bit different in the end result, but here's the end result compared to the concept art. So that's pretty neat. Moving on to the next part of post-production, the plane. The plane is a bit of a random scene to have in episode 2. It's kind of just put in there, no context, you never see it again after that. But the point of it is to show that time has passed since the first season and that the world has really been kind of reclaimed by nature and all the stuff, all the man-made stuff that was there before is now useless and redundant. And Justin sees this crashed plane, this crashed freight plane, which has supplies, or it did have supplies in it, and it just kind of represents how it's not the world that he used to know. So here's the concept art of the plane. In the concept art, the location looks a little bit different, but the plane overall model is pretty similar to what we finished up with. So the first shot here is the untextured plane. We did like a little bit of a surrounding environment as well, just to kind of blend that in with the environment we were shooting in. So in the second shot here, you can see that the plane has been textured and the grass has changed a little bit. Then we shortened the grass, changed the color a little bit, and we tweaked that a bit until we came to this, which had the vines growing over it, because that was an important part to show that it wasn't just crashed, it wasn't just sort of a little bit old, but it had been there long enough for vines to grow over it. So yeah, that's pretty much that, but the end result, as you can see here, is quite impressive, at least for me. I think it's quite impressive. The VFX artist did an awesome job of this shot. Like these two shots here, as you can see, they're just amazing. And here are kind of the before and afters. And yeah, they're just, I mean, when I saw these shots for the first time, I was kind of mind blown that we were able to achieve something like this. The Stronghold Safe Zone. So this was a really important part, I think, for this project. Just like the plane, that the world is a different place. So people are living in these communities now and they're not living how they were before. So yeah, and you can really see in this picture here, the concept art, that like the cars, they're not being used anymore, they kind of burn out, all old technology is sort of gone and it's being repurposed. So the shipping container is the entrance to the Stronghold Safe Zone, and the concept artist, once again, David, did an amazing job of designing this with the watchtowers, the walls, like the corrugated iron look, the fairy lights. That was his idea. I did not ask him to put those in, but they were a great addition, very creative. And even the graffiti on the front, like safe here inside, like as if the people are trying to get people to move in so they can use them as resources effectively. But yeah, that's sort of the Stronghold Safe Zone. It doesn't go too much into it in the series, but it's talked about in episode 1, episode 2, and episode 5, of course, when Justin walks up to the gates, and effectively that's the end of the season, and that's up to you to decide what happens to Justin. Let's just go through the model pictures here, the work in progress images. So this first image, it kind of shows the beginning of it. We've got the corrugated iron, the shipping container, a couple of barrels, and the sign, of course. Then in the second work in progress image, it's more or less done. But then the watchtower's added detail to, and then in this image here, you can see that the modeler who did it put it into Unreal Engine 4, and then I tweaked it a little bit from that. And I kind of adjusted and made lighting different just to suit the environment that I was shooting in to merge with the digital content. So that was good. So moving on to this next one, kind of morbid, so trigger warning. This originally was completely different in the script, but in post-production I decided that it was going to be more unique to do it this way. If I was going to do it, I wanted to do it right. So this first image here is the first work in progress image of Rebecca Monroe's decapitated head. What the modeler did for this was I sent a bunch of images of Sarah Bowers, which is the actress for Rebecca Monroe, and I sent a bunch of pictures to him, and he was able to scan it into a program to get the mesh, the 3D mesh of Rebecca. And then the second work in progress image is the final model for what we used in the finished product, and I sent a mock-up of this to the VFX artist, and then he came up with this shot here. I'm really happy with how it turned out. So this is the before, so it's just the tree obviously, and then this is the after. So that pretty much brings me to the end of the post-production and visual effects. Also, big shout out to Pierre. I think I'm saying that correctly. I'm sorry, I've never met you in real life, but we worked together on this project, and he did all the visual effects of the gas, the death wave, and also the opening scenes for the city in the background. He did a great job, exactly how I imagined it in my mind, and he was really good to work with on this project. So that pretty much brings me to the end of the post-production visual effects. I do want to say that post-production is a really important process for any film of any sort. As much as I hate editing because it takes forever and it's just shocking, it's really important that a lot of time and effort is put into it, because otherwise that's when your project falls apart. So that's about all I wanted to say for post-production. I don't know what's next in this video, so enjoy what's next. I also want to give a quick shout out just to highlight the concept artists once again. Wesley, who did a lot of concept art on this project and also my last project, Pod 792. He did an amazing job with all the concepts he did this time around. David, who is another really important concept artist within this project, and he did a lot of environmental stuff, as you can see here. And also finally, but certainly not least, Tamo, who was the primary concept artist for characters in this project. And as you can see, just absolutely amazing work. So once again, like these concept artists, I can never be grateful enough to the amount of work they put into this project and the quality of work they produced.
Okay, get your hands off me!
I'm sorry, get your hands off me. Okay.
Get your hands off me!
Who the hell are you?
I'm Sarah. Okay, let's hear it.
Follow me. Rise and shine.
It literally looks like you're just on your phone. Am I groggy enough for you? I'm like,
Action.
Did I put it in here? Oh, I did.
Oh, that is not the walkie-talkies!
We'll keep in contact with these. Got a name?
Rebecca Monroe. Becca for short. You?
Ready, by the
Do I
way?
have chins, Ben?
No, you're fine.
No, like, do I actually?
You have a chin?
Yeah, well, don't. This one.
Well, what do you want me to do?
Chins are like self-conscious, okay? Be careful. Because everyone knows a high angle is a good angle.
Yeah, why do you work at fucking high
Because
angles?
you look short otherwise.
I don't care.
It's actually meant to make you look superior.
I'm not. I'm so
Okay,
vulnerable.
let's just do like eye
Like,
high,
I'm
like
so
just under
vulnerable
eye
at this
high.
point.
Like another.
You know, Justin. What is it? You know, I'm not.
I wasn't sure about you. I've been watching you for a few.
This isn't some zombie movie.
Oh well, I thought.
Oh, you're not wrong.
This isn't The Walking Dead.
You must be one tough son of a bitch.
Oh my god, I feel the chemistry flying!
Being so cruel.
I've done a lot of bad shit, so. Oh my god! I've done a lot of bad.
Done a lot of bad shit.
I mean,
After that curry in the safe zone, you know.
what is that, butter?
I have no idea what that is. I've been wondering for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's just
Legit, I've been wondering, what is that? Yeah, that looks literally. No, not intended.
Okay, get out your shit.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm including this.
No, don't look at it. Okay, ready, set, action. Okay, that's good. That's all we needed.
Being kind of creepy.
God.
Alright, are we
only
ready for
imagine.
realsies now?
Yeah, might as well just run it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But enough about me. What about you, Rebecca Monroe? Where do you spend your time in the apartment? I didn't know
It was actually really good.
Okay, go again. Starting to run out of batteries.
Are you serious?
Are you f***ing serious?
I'm not joking. We gotta go.
This isn't some zombie movie.
So I forgot to film an outro, as everyone does in every video of history, but I just wanted to thank you for watching the series. Thank you for watching this video. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the bloopers, because I sure did, looking back at all the times we messed up. It's great fun to see all the times that as a group we messed up, individually we messed up, and just as a whole we all messed up. But yeah, I really like the behind the scenes video because it's a bit chill, it's kind of really relaxed, and it just kind of shows how this 50 minutes of television effectively was made. And it takes a lot of effort. I think it took 6 months for part 2 to be completely finished. I started pre-production in, I think it was September last year, and then I took like a break for a couple of months, and then in November I restarted and just have been going ever since. So funnily enough, I'm already working on my next project because that's just the kind of person I am. I always like working on things, and that should be coming later this year. It's a short film, sort of a similar format to Pod 792, which I released last year as well. So maybe I'm going to be doing like a series and a short film a year. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, thank you once again for watching Outwards End Part 2 and this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next series.